And welcome back to Ben's Rant Nation. I'm your host, Ben. I have a very important update for you. Turns out a few months back, I made a video about that radio show host on 95.3 MNC, Casey Hendrickson. And I said that he committed stolen valor. And so did Clifton French of Real News Michiana. And we both made this claim, and we had video evidence to support what we said. And I just want to tell you, I think we had it all wrong. He totally did not commit stolen valor. We got it wrong. We simply misinterpreted what he said about having experiences with Iraq, Bosnia, and even Afghanistan. Because you can totally have experiences with all those places without actually having been there. So we misinterpreted that. He did not commit stolen valor. He did not. So after these allegations were made, Casey, he cleared the whole thing up. And I really appreciate that.
So I don't know how I could have deployed to Iraq after I have told everybody hundreds of times that I didn't, and that I didn't deploy overseas, and that I didn't see combat.
Yeah, you're right, Casey. I don't know where anybody could have heard something like that before.
I've talked a lot about Bosnia, my experiences with that conflict. And I know that most of you are aware of my history with Iraq.
Now, I really want to be specific, because not only did I say that he committed stolen valor, I also said that he lied about his military service.
When Benghazi happened, what happened in the reports, I was able to give you my expertise that I would have been involved in and how that strategy would have played out if I were in the military, because I would have been, or at least people in my MOS would have been a part of that operation.
So Casey actually cleared some of this up last week, where he said what kind of unit he was in. And obviously, he was in a unit that would have been sent to Benghazi to rescue an ambassador. 100%.
The unit that I was in is considered one of the top transportation unit. At the time, I was still in the reserves. Top transportation unit in the country. They still are considered one of the top transportation units in the country.
Now, those of you who just watched that clip might be thinking, hey, Ben, I watched the movie 13 Hours. And it was a Joint Special Operations Command, JSOC unit, meaning Army Special Forces and Army Delta Forces. Those are the guys who were sent. I'm just going to tell you, you're flat out wrong, okay? Obviously, they're not going to send Special Forces to waste their time with a situation like that. Yeah, they're going to send the real pros in the Army Reserves Transportation Unit to get the job done. And who better to get the job done if he was still serving at the time, which now we know he wasn't. But he would have, and he could have. And he totally could have been sent there. Definitely. Although I will say one thing that is awful strange is a self-proclaimed 11 Bravo infantryman being stationed in a transportation unit that's full of 88 mics. If you don't know what that is, that's a truck driver. So a transportation unit has nothing to do with infantry. Claims to be an infantryman, but now he claims to be in a transportation unit. Also, according to him, he'd only been in the Army a couple of years total, because he talked about getting forced out during the Bill Clinton Redux years when they reduced the size of the military. So he only had a couple of years in, so he wouldn't have had time to reclass, do a different MOS, and he really wouldn't have had time to even change duty stations. So that would almost have to be the only unit that he was ever in. I'm sure they made an exception. I'm sure he didn't lie at all. I'm sure they made an exception for Casey Hendrickson. He was so talented that they needed just one 11 Bravo to come over to their unit and drive trucks or something. So that explains itself. I'm just glad this has all been cleared up. No way did he lie about his military service. That just didn't happen. And in fact, next time you see him on Veterans Day, make sure you buy this guy a free breakfast and thank him for his service.
La 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 la, la 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 la. Casey's World.